How is everybody doing? Doing well, I hope. It's Wednesday. What am I talking about? It is Monday morning. We will be streaming at noon. In fact, what I'm going to do is show you guys the stream schedule for the week. Noon on a lot of different days. We have a Twitch stream here. I will be streaming on Twitch probably another day. I just couldn't really nail one down. But we're streaming. The stream schedule is live pretty much on all of my platforms, pinned to the top. You can check it out. 4 p.m. That's this week's Max stream. I'm gonna let you in on some of the guests and stuff that we have going for Fort Cannon's sake going into the next week, and all sorts of behind the scenes stuff that we'll be discussing there. So, yep, that's the stream schedule for the week today. We are at noon, and all those times are central. So, before I get started, it's just funny how pretty much everything that I said 4 years ago, and for those that know me as a political commentator, you know where I was at 4 years ago. Bernie Sanders, I was basically, I was on a campaign, and I was just at him, right? I was at him and his supporters nonstop. And the reason why was because I am a guy that is in the sort of subcultures, if you will. And like whether it be the music I was making, metalcore, sort of hardcore stuff, and just surrounded by Bernie supporters. And we always, definitely the band backwards, we were always the outlier. We're always going to remain the outlier when it comes to the political philosophy that we've generally adopted for the most part, which is the antithesis of what Bernie Sanders is. He's an authoritarian socialist, and he wants to use the state to fund and enforce his whimsical ideals. And considering that I was surrounded by them, always surrounded by those Bernie type supporters, I put them in my crosshairs in terms of who I was going at the most. I was just kind of the way that it lined. That's what I was surrounded by. It's like, okay, if there's guys that needs to be convinced, and it's these guys because they're the ones that surrounded me. But everything that we said and I said 4 years ago, all the memes, all the posts, all the videos, if you want to go check those out, they're still just as irrelevant. It's so weird how it just the same exact thing happens. And what I mean by that is that he bows down and he supports the establishment. This is what it is. He's always done that. And to act like he's anti-establishment, which is why that's the lure, right? It's so hilarious. God forbid, ain't no God forbid. It's blasphemous that people have actually compared this man to Ron Paul. When he was running in his recent runs, he wasn't endorsing the Republican establishment candidate. That would be bigger, it'll be a bigger statement if he didn't, right? But he said it. I did that video here where I talked about how again he was going to, and he had said that he would support Biden if he won the Democratic nomination. It was some speech that he was giving that he said that, and he hasn't done the whole okay, I support him as far as I endorse him. He hadn't said that in exact words, but when he was speaking to Stephen Colbert, and even when he bowed down, he's praising Joe Biden when he had basically conceded. He dropped out. He was just all over Biden. He was like, hey, Biden, he's a good man, all of this stuff. And you can see here, he said, I will do everything I can. But I will say that we're talking to Joe and talking to his team about how we can work together. Look, he's going to support Joe Biden. That's just what it is. And hilariously, you're seeing these organizations such as Democratic Socialists of America saying they aren't endorsing them. And you're seeing people in the thread trying to, well, let's watch this. Watch the recording.
Joe Biden is a man who has devoted his entire life to public service and to the well-being of working families and the middle class.
Look, man. So basically, what's going on in this thread, which is hilarious to me, it's a bunch of people saying that you can't do that. You have to support Joe Biden, because if you don't support Joe Biden, Trump will win. And that was always gonna be the case. People were gonna make excuses to not only support his clown out there. And I had a post, actually. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I had a post in which, and this is how much of just a raging hypocrite this guy is, because I had a post and I talked about this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that, because there was a post that I had said. Yeah, here it is. I bookmarked it. This was a month ago, a little over a month ago. He had said something along the lines to Joe Biden, said, no, the establishment are the 60 billionaires who are funding your campaign. He said this to Joe Biden and corporate funded super PACs that are spending millions on their negative ads. So he's saying that's what the establishment does. And then he's gonna go bow down and support the establishment. It's just, look, man, this guy's a clown. He's swindling so many of you young folk, and I get it. For whatever reason, you guys find socialism so attractive, and you tricked yourself into believing, for one, this guy ever had a chance. It's funny. Hold on, let me pull this up. Remember, I did this video talking about how this chick was dancing. I was like, social media. It's a tricky thing, because sometimes it conflates people's egos. It makes people think that they're more popular than what they actually are. And the user base isn't as big as you guys think it is in terms of the active users. He had no chance, okay? And it is what it is. But I will concede the point that he has a base of really, let's say, passionate supporters. So it would make a big statement to the establishment if Bernie did run as an independent, if he didn't support the establishment candidate, but just like he did last time, when he supported Hillary Clinton, like he's supporting the most establishment. It's not even just that he's supporting the Democratic nominee. He's supporting the most establishment Democratic nominees. He supported Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. It doesn't get no more establishment than that. This is what I always thought. I won't say I always thought. I thought certainly post 2016 or during the campaign, let's say that, where it seems like he was just used. And I don't even know if this is something that you can make the argument where he worked with the Democrats on. It's like he's there to mobilize. He's there to mobilize young folk and get them excited to vote for the Democratic nominee in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And if you put two and two together, when you look at, for example, the people that are here trying to make the case against the Democratic Socialists of America, when they are saying we're not supporting Bernie, they're actually taking them more. I mean, these guys are jokers anyway, but they're trying to make more of a be consistent. You know what I mean? They're making more of a statement by not supporting Joe Biden. These are the Democratic Socialists of America. And you got all these people here talking about all these people talking about you got to do it. You have to do it. Trump will win. All of this stuff. So you're endorsing. Look at this. You're endorsing Trump. This is so hilarious to me. These guys are not principled by any means, and they will support the establishment. And why not? Because their leader does that. So what? So it seems to me that this guy is used to simply mobilize these young folks to segue them in to supporting whoever the Democrats want to win, and that is Joe Biden in his case, and that's what's going to happen. This is not a principled man. This is a sucker, and he's swindling all of you youngsters And you don't see it. You get all enthusiastic. You donate all your money. This is why half of y'all. Look, I've always said that politics is a very evil thing. It brings out the worst in people. I think about the millions of dollars that are wasted upon campaigning. Definitely by these groups, types of folks. These types of folks who go around mad at rich people because they have money, pissed off at those guys who have more than them. It's envy, and they think that more money there should be more of a wealth transfer and wealth redistribution. And I look at all the time these campaigns, and you look at the millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that are wasted on either side of this. And that's money that could have been used to fund other things. Definitely their whimsical ideas. Just think about the Democratic Party. I just want y'all to take a step back real quick. Think about the Democratic Party and the amount of money all of these campaign members make. You guys want quote unquote free this, free that. You could have been using that money, just putting this into perspective, to put forth those efforts, right? To actually try to work towards those efforts. And all it is funding people that you would like to fund, having the college experience paid for, healthcare paid for. All that money could have went in the pool, and y'all could have been doing that. But instead, you wasted on these politicians who are gonna piss it away. And it literally gets pissed away when the guy that you want to win doesn't win. Nonetheless, this guy's been swindling you guys over and over. The same things that are relevant, people making fun of y'all and stuff. It's the same stuff that was relevant 4 years ago. It's the same thing. I don't know what it is about Bernie Sanders that y'all can't see him for the crook that he is. He's a crook. He is a crook who seems to be there to just mobilize you guys, get you guys amped up for the Democratic nominee. And now y'all fighting amongst yourselves because a group actually said, we not doing it. We ain't doing that. And now they're like, oh, well, you want Trump to win? That's how they try to shame you in supporting the establishment. Do you want Trump to win? And again, these are the same guys who will gripe, complain, moan about the two-party system, right? And they would make more of a statement for the long term if they didn't support it. Even if they lost that particular election, it will make more of a statement and set the scene going for the next years if you wanted to break up this sort of deal. But nah, that's not what y'all want to do. It was never what y'all want to do. It's never what Bernie wanted to do. Bernie talks all of that just to get you guys stoked. Because if he looks like an outlier for the same damn party that he's, for the most part, even as an independent in the Senate, he's voted right alongside them for the most part, give or take. The whole idea has just been to mobilize you guys, get you guys enthusiastic. Here's my alarm's going off because I was supposed to wake up then. Get you guys enthusiastic about this whole entire experience. So you would then, hey, I'm going to hand you all of my supporters here. Joe Biden, here. And this is not a principled man. I just showed you guys a tweet about what he said, and he's going to go bow down and support the man. Similar thing to what happened with Hillary Clinton. It's like, you're bad, you're establishment, rich folk, yada, 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 yada. Okay, I support you. The guy ain't principled. He ain't principled. He's a jokester, and he seems to just be used, and he may be in on it. He seems to just be used to try to segue you guys into the Democratic Party for that particular election cycle. He's just getting you guys stoked. Then it is what it is. I mean, same things I said 4 years ago are still relevant.